The chief's secret. In every village, there is a secret, one so heavy that even the wind refuses to carry it. Some truths do not disappear when buried, they wait patiently beneath the soil, feeding on silence, growing stronger with time, until the day they rise again. Not as memories, but as consequences. Asempanquanta was once a peaceful village, the kind where the sound of evening drums blended with laughter, and elders told stories under the moonlight while children fell asleep on their mothers' laps. The people believed deeply in the ancestors, in the land, and in the authority of their chief, Nana Kwegir Badu II, a man whose presence alone commanded respect. To them, he was not just a ruler, he was the protector of their destiny. But what they did not know was that their protection had been bought at a cost far greater than they could ever imagine. It did not begin with chaos. It never does. It began with small, unsettling moments, things easy to dismiss, yet impossible to forget. A newborn child came into the world crying without sound, its mouth wide open in visible distress, yet no voice emerged. The midwives exchanged frightened glances, and the old priest, after examining the child, whispered words no one wanted to hear. This child has seen what lies beyond. Days later, the river that sustained the village turned dark overnight. It was not the brown of mud or the green of algae, it was a strange, unnatural darkness, as though something invisible had dissolved into it. Fish floated lifelessly to the surface, and when a curious boy touched the water, he recoiled in terror, claiming the river had whispered his name. From that moment, no one fetched water alone again. Then came the night Kabinat Sekbo, the bravest hunter in Asempanquanta, ran out of the forest like a man chased by death itself. His body trembled, his voice broke, and all he could say was, "I saw her. The girl we buried." The villagers dismissed him at first until morning came and they found him sitting in the dust, laughing at nothing, his sanity completely gone. Fear began to take root. At midnight, drums started to sound from the forbidden grove, slow and heavy, echoing like a heartbeat from beneath the earth. No drummer was ever seen, yet the rhythm persisted night after night, pulling sleep away from every household. Children woke speaking in strange tongues, their voices deep and unfamiliar, while elders struggled to perform rituals that no longer seemed to work. And then, the footprints appeared. They were small, like those of a child, but wherever they landed, the ground seemed scorched, as though rejecting their presence. Each morning, the villagers traced them with growing dread, only to realize they always led to one place, the chief's palace. That was when whispers began. At first, they were quiet, spoken behind closed doors and under careful breaths. But fear has a way of giving courage to suspicion, and soon the question no one dared to ask started forming in every mind. What if the problem was not the land, but the one who ruled it? The answer came when she returned. Esi Nyarkoa. 7 years ago, she had died, or so they had been told. Her death had been quiet, unquestioned, almost too easy to accept. She was not from a powerful family, not someone whose absence would shake the village. She had simply disappeared. Now she stood at the edge of Asempanquanta, her presence as calm as it was terrifying, her eyes carrying a depth that made people look away. She did not greet anyone. She did not explain herself. She only watched. When Chief Nana Kwegir Badu II saw her, something inside him broke. For the first time in his life, fear replaced authority. Because in that moment, he remembered everything. He remembered the drought that had nearly destroyed the village. He remembered the sickness that no herbalist could cure. He remembered the desperation in the elders' meeting and the priest's voice when he declared that the ancestors demanded a life in exchange for survival. And most of all, he remembered the choice he made. He had chosen Esi. Not because she deserved it, but because she was easy to take, easy to silence, easy to forget. That night, under the cover of darkness, she had been taken to the forbidden grove. The rain fell heavily, masking the sound of digging as the earth was opened to receive her. She did not fight. She did not scream. She only looked at the chief and said something that had haunted him ever since. The land does not forget. Then they buried her. Alive. The rain stopped the next day. The sickness faded. The village prospered. And for 7 years, Chief Nana Kwegir Badu II carried his secret like a crown no one else could see. Until now. Because the land had remembered. And it had come to collect. The chief's son, Kojo Bempa, was the first to fall. One evening, he collapsed in the courtyard, his body convulsing as though something unseen had taken control of him. When he finally sat up, his eyes no longer belonged to him. In a voice that echoed with something ancient and unforgiving, he spoke words that shattered the last piece of silence in the village. The chief is a liar. The chief feeds the land with blood. The truth spread faster than fire. Villagers gathered, not in celebration or unity, but in anger and fear. When the chief stepped forward, hoping to control the narrative, his authority failed him. His voice trembled. His silence betrayed him. And when Esi Nyarkoa finally walked into the center of the crowd, there was no denying it anymore. The past had returned. "I did it for all of you," the chief confessed, his knees hitting the ground as the weight of his actions crushed him. "I saved this village." But no one responded. Because in that moment, they understood something painful, something they had never considered before. They had lived comfortably. Because someone else had suffered. And now, the price of that comfort had come back, not just for the chief, but for everyone. The nights grew darker. The cries beneath the ground grew louder. The madness spread. Families turned against each other, blaming, accusing, regretting. And slowly, painfully, the truth revealed itself. Evil does not stay with the person who created it. It spreads. It stains. It consumes everything in its path. In the end, the chief did not die as a hero, nor as a respected leader. He lived long enough to watch everything he built collapse, his name disgraced, his family broken, his people divided by fear and guilt. That was his punishment. Not death, but awareness. And as for Esi Nyarkoa, no one ever saw her leave. Some say she returned to the earth. Others believe she never left at all. But one thing remains certain. Asempankwanta was never the same again. Because they had learned, too late, that not all sacrifices bring peace. Some only delay destruction.